Welcome sinners to the Cinamen podcast. This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual Purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the Purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the Purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning until 7 a.m., when the Purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
So welcome, sinners. This is Chris,
Nick, and Tyler.
and with us this week we have Derrick coming back,
Yep, returning guest
Yes.
Derrick Adams. Good
Always.
to have you.
and we got a good episode this week, guys. We got
Our first horror movie.
this is right. This is our
first forte into horror.
podcast.
Yeah.
This is we're diving right into it, headstrong with the newest Purge movie,
Election year.
right? And Cinamen's Nick and Tyler have seen it,
Correct.
and me and Derrick have not. So we're ready for to ask them a lot of
Typical.
questions and get our review in while discussing the first two movies of this awesome franchise. Before we start anything, let me ask you guys, round table. Derrick, I'll start with you. Would you purge if the option was available to you?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It depends on my mood, I guess.
Now remember, it does not just mean murder.
Oh, I know.
All crime. Okay,
all
right.
crime. I mean, the temptation is, I would say, would be there, but just a basic fear of being like fucking whacked before I get a chance to do anything I really want to do would really piss me off. So I'd probably be in a bunker somewhere. I probably wouldn't purge.
I agree. I think the idea of purging is it is what it is. I can't say I would do it because people are going to be purging me, and I might not get to even do what I've set out to do.
I think
so.
that's how everybody thinks. So if there was like a credo that like you're purging, I'm purging, we'll not purge together, but we'll keep each other alive, then maybe I'd give it a shot. Like, oh, we're both breaking the fucking law tonight, but
Well, I think there's some opportunities to certain people in certain professions that not everybody has.
right.
Say you work as a clerk all year long, people hand you a debit card, you kind of jot down some numbers, and then on purge night, you just go on a shopping spree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stay at home, hop on Amazon, and just use your 100 or so debit cards that you have, and just, treat yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Don't be too mean. Don't take $100 from one person. Do 50 from this person, 50 from this person, 50
I don't
from
know
this
if
person.
all crime is legal and we're going that route. I'm gonna clean their account.
Yeah,
because
for
there ain't
sure.
nothing they're gonna do to me because it was legal.
Yeah.
So
I just want to like steal a bunch of gas or something so I don't have to pay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want to kill anybody.
go to Walmart, stock up on all my necessities I'm gonna need in life. Maybe a few games, a few movies, and then just wait for the next year. Or go rob a. I don't know if you can somehow like break into a store, steal the money, and then you never have to work the whole year. Just go make your
but
money every purge.
The only problem is I would see with that is like the first purge, the first actual purge. I bet you everybody's going to be robbing everything, taking everything they can.
Right.
It isn't bolted down. They're going to be jacking with it. They're going to be doing something. The only thing I guess I would have a problem with is you could do all that stuff, but it's just like fuck, man, it's almost too dangerous to try and even jack simple shit. You can't go to a bank and rob it because there's too many people trying to cut your head off, chasing you with machetes down the street.
Right.
Plus,
Is it really worth the hassle?
After
'Cause
year
you might
one,
get
they're probably going to up security a lot, too.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot of other structures that have some kind of defense to them, especially government buildings or, somewhat,
Right.
so forth.
Now, before we dive into a review of the third one, sinners, for those who don't know what the purge is, in these movies, it is crime has reached, like, I guess, an all-time high, and so the government's answer to this was
More crime.
more crime. It's
Concentrated crime.
right. You have one day of the year, and for 12 hours, all crime is legal. That's murder, theft, robbery. I guess that's theft as well. All crime is legal, and there are no repercussions from it. Those who die, hey, you didn't survive everyone releasing the beast. Like they say,
Yeah, there are limitations on the weapons you can use.
right, and who you can kill
And
as
who
far
you
as
can
government
kill.
officials, political leaders, stuff like that. But all crime is legal, 12 hours, and because of this, the country is now at its lowest point of unemployment, right? It's down to 1%.
Yeah.
Crime is at an all-time low. The world is benefiting from this, and obviously the issue in these movies is the morality of it.
Well, what bugs me a little bit is they don't mention kids at all.
Yeah.
They don't take kids off the table at all. You can
No.
murder kids, you can do other things
Yeah.
to kids.
You
know.
manage to break into a house, you can gun down mom, dad, the kid, the baby sister, and the dog, and not gonna have an issue with it. And then take everything in the house, and it's 100%. The only thing that bothers me with the Purge is they don't say anything about the damages and the cleanup the next day. Sure, you have 12 hours of all the crime you want, but I imagine you're spending how much on cleaning, medical supplies.
You know,
and
Like every single nurse ever would have to work. Like you couldn't request the day off after.
they'd have to
Purge.
bring
Like,
back
you'd
the
have to
dead
bring everybody
nurses.
in.
well,
to-
it probably creates jobs. You probably cleaning
Well,
up after
yeah.
the purge is probably a year-long thing. So unemployment is low. Maybe part of that is purge cleanup.
I was gonna say it's like
medical
job security.
services.
Well, I imagine if you're in the construction business, boy, you are set.
Construction and medical is just booming.
Right, yeah. So you two have seen Purge 3, the
Yes.
election year.
Election year.
All right, and did you like it?
I loved it personally.
I liked it. Yeah.
Cool. Did
It
you
was
like
good.
it better than the other two? Better, not better?
I think it's on par with the second one. for
Okay.
sure.
I'm gonna say right off the bat, I didn't love any of them, but I do think the second one is the best. I liked all of them enough, but
Right.
I think the second one is the best.
I'll say I'm a gigantic Purge fan. I loved all three movies. One was definitely the bottom of the list for me, and
I
2
agree.
and 3, I would give them the same number rating, but they both had strengths and weaknesses in different spots.
Awesome. Now, the main character of number 2, Frank Grillo, I'm sorry, I don't know his name in the movie. Is he the main character of the third one as well?
Yeah, arguably he's the main character. I mean, there's also the senator that he's protecting, who is running for president. Obviously,
Right.
Let's throw out the obligatory all right,
right,
we're gonna
sinners.
be heavy spoilers.
Heavy spoilers from here on out. Be warned.
You're about to be spoiled.
We're about to release the beast on
Yeah.
this podcast. So,
If this podcast was an egg, I wouldn't eat it because it'd be spoiled.
oh, slam.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Thank you. So yeah, she's trying to get elected, trying to stop the purge because
She's trying to
obviously
get, she wants to get elected to stop the purge.
yeah, she survived the purge as
Yeah,
a
so
child.
she was like a survivor of a purge attack on her, I guess, family,
Yeah.
and her parents both died. So now she has grown up and like taken political, strike against the purge, and so she's trying to. Is she running for president or is she running?
I think she's running for president, and it seems like she has a lot of backing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like people are
It's like
into
this, like the rich are like, we could be in trouble this year. This may
it.
end.
Which how if all the poor people are getting killed every year, who's voting for this lady?
Well, I was gonna say,
You know.
in the
true.
second one, in the second movie they had like the freedom fighters, the guys
Correct.
who were like anti-purgers. Were they in the movie at all, or were they like a footnote kind of
Right.
deal?
Do they show up in the third film?
I don't think they were. It was more of a different organization. Like
They didn't
more
have.
political.
so there's a bunch of side stories in this one, like there was in the second one, which is where I think the second one shines. It gets a lot more into the universe and like the possibilities of the purge, right?
You see it from a lot of different angles as opposed to just being inside a house
Correct.
with one family like the first one.
Correct. So in one of the side stories, there's a guy who is protecting his store. He loses his quote unquote purge insurance because they tried to jack the prices up the day before. So he decides to stay in his store and protect it. And then his friend,
Yeah, his like shop buddy.
I guess she was kind of a wild youth, and he kind of took her in and like mentored her, so she now goes out in a like medical van and like helps people, right?
During the purge.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
It's like
She's
it's
got
pretty
balls.
awesome. Her car's all barred up and like reinforced, and she's got weapons, and her and this one other chick just go out and like look for people to help. And obviously sometimes things get a little too heavy, and she kind of gets the F out of there. But
Right. Okay. She's got some balls.
yeah, and she's fighting a good fight, and I think there's kind of an unspoken rule where the purgers don't mess with her. I mean, I think some people don't care and they'll do whatever, but I think generally they kind of leave her alone.
Okay.
Really, that's strange.
And where I was going with that, I guess she brings our main group of people to this like underground. I think it's in a parking structure, and there's a bunch of people there, like a bunch of doctors and stuff, working to help whoever they bring in.
Right.
And they also bring in homeless people, let them sleep the night away, so they're kind of safe.
So this is like a safe haven facility.
Yeah, so it's equivalent, but it's not the same
Right.
as the Freedom Fighters from the last one.
Okay.
Cool. But the guy is in it though. The homeless stranger guy. He's in all three.
From the first one.
And the second, right?
He's in the
He was
second
in like
one.
the back, like 10 minutes of the second one.
He plays a bigger role in this one.
So he's more
What was he
prone.
doing in the second one?
He shows up at the country club, I think. and
Right.
When the Freedom Fighters first get there to save Frank Gilio
Yeah.
and all those
He's
guys.
in all three.
Yeah,
You
he's
see him for like
Oh,
2
okay.
seconds.
He's like the first
But-
one through the door. And it honestly took me a minute to recognize him because the first one, the house, the lights are off and the
He's
whole
so
house.
bloody.
Yeah, and he's like covered in blood. So it took me a minute to recognize him. And I kind of wanted like last year I survived one of these with some rich family, and now I got picked up by these guys. But it was almost like they just hoped you recognized him, and he didn't give any inclination
Yeah.
as to what's happened before.
I was
Well,
gonna
I'd
say,
say I've probably, out of all four of us, I've probably seen it the most, and I didn't recognize him.
he didn't even say anything in the
Okay.
second one. He just comes in, you see his face, it focuses on him for like a few seconds, and then it goes away. You don't hear or see nothing of him since.
Right.
So
And so you said the third one, does it now?
He's like the leader of that clique that's underground that we talked about.
Is Michael K. Williams not in the third one?
I don't think so. The dude on the TV.
What? Oh man.
No,
okay.
I don't think so. I don't remember seeing him.
I see. He reminded me of like a guerrilla warfare leader. I really wanted to see
He
more.
looked like
of
the
this
leader
guy.
of Coney. That's all I kept thinking.
Yeah,
Coney.
yeah. I really wanted to see more of him, so it kind of puts a damper on me a little bit that he's not in the third one. But you said that organization or something like it is around still.
Yeah, but they've sort of switched gears. Like
They're less like guerrilla warfare, more.
one act of the third act is they want to kill the female like leads running
Competition.
opposition. Like the
candidate.
who's like Whitmore or something or
Yeah,
something like that.
He's running for president, and
He wants to
she's
keep
running.
the purge going.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
He's like the rich, like they are backing him, and he's all like gaudy and stuff, and so they want to kill him, but she doesn't want him to be a martyr
Because
Like,
as soon as he gets killed, it takes the power away from her.
right.
In her eyes.
Okay.
So it's like a piece of the third act, and all this kind of stuff. So I was obviously keeping her alive was the goal, but I did like it. It was good.
Well, one thing I guess we forgot to mention was that the government officials rule was abolished. So anyone is fair game in this year.
oh, everyone
this
is
year.
like president of the United States.
Yes.
Every attorney general.
They kind of played it off as like, people have criticized us about, not everyone is susceptible to the purge. Well, this year everyone's fair game.
So
And they do that specifically to come after her.
okay,
Like they
so-
put that into
so the
effect
rich-
like the day before the purge, and then they're like starting to set up a plan to take her out.
So the rich people who support the purge supported this decision to make it available for everyone. I mean, make
Well,
it.
okay, when I say rich people, I don't mean like the rich
Yeah,
citizens.
yeah. No,
I mean
I'm
like
sorry. I don't mean to single
government
out.
officials that get to vote. Like obviously the citizens weren't asked
Right.
about it. It
I'm
wasn't-
talking-
Yeah.
The rich people in these movies simply because they're the ones that
Yeah, they
seem
had
to
they
have
had to
the
put
benefit.
her on the list, and the only way to do that was to take them all off of the list.
I'm sure if they killed her, they would have abolished the rule the next year.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
okay.
They
Yeah,
didn't.
if they had
Yeah.
mission succeeded, they'd have probably been like, okay, this year turns out we are restricted. You can't touch us.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So they were going to try to put her in a safe house, right? Because that's the smart thing to do. She's trying to end the purge. Obviously, people are going to come after her.
Just try and survive the
But
night.
she's one of those like I'm of the people. I'm a people person. I'm gonna be
Says she needs
in my house just like everyone else on purge night. But then of course she fills the house with like 30 government officials protecting her, like 30 bodyguards, right? At least you got people standing outside, which is stupid to begin with. You don't put any security outside.
Yeah, why
There's
would you stand
snipers.
outside at all?
There's people are coming. Obviously, nobody's gonna just like, oh, that's a big fancy house. I'm gonna stay away. The people that's protecting her, I think some of them are in on it, and the other ones just
Yeah.
get taken out.
Okay.
Right. So the people get into the house, and the main guy that's protecting her built in like a secret tunnel to get out of the house.
Is this what our character from the second one is doing?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Frank Grillo.
Yeah,
So he has moved up
Yeah, he's
protecting
security.
Private security. Yeah.
Does he say how that happened? Because and I know the second one he doesn't say what he does, what his day job is, whatever. He's just more of a Punisher character.
It's not unbelievable. Like, you don't see it and think, oh, he would never do that. Like, he's
Okay.
clearly good at surviving the purge.
Right.
He's clearly got some kind of training.
Okay.
And, he's got personal motivation. They even talk about it. She's like, why'd you get into this line of work? And, he said he almost did something stupid on Purge night, and he wants the whole holiday shut down, so he's going to make sure she lives, right?
All right, that's cool.
So
I'm just happy Frank Grillo's back.
Yes,
He's
always
the
a
man.
badass.
He was awesome.
He definitely sells the whole franchise.
Oh yeah, he is remarkable at what he does in those movies. I was like, why is this guy
He's the perfect anti-hero.
paint a skeleton face on his thing and call him the Punisher? Like,
I remember hearing, I don't remember if it was after the first or after the second, but the second or third, it almost makes me think the second. One of them was not going to happen. Like, I guess they were close to, like, calling it until Frank Grillo signed on. So, like, they got a name attached to it, and they were like, okay, well, let's maybe reinvest in this.
right.
And he kind of brought it to life.
Well, I think it's worth pointing out that this one has already been making more than the first two.
The third one has.
Yeah, I believe
right.
it blew Tarzan and BFG out of the water on opening weekend.
It did
because
beat
they
them
all
because it
came
lost
out.
to Finding Dory, which
Well-
which is not its fault. Finding Dory, I mean, that's since the first one came out, we knew a sequel was just going to
My
tank
mom
everything.
has been
so.
talking about a Finding Nemo sequel since it came out. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very popular franchise.
Right.
Of course, it's going to win.
But
Pixar.
for the Purge, which is deemed as a horror movie, I mean, I would call it that, I guess, slightly horror.
One of the good things about The Purge is the fact that it's not just your typical suspense horror movie. It's an action horror movie.
Right. It's
Like,
very
there's
thought-provoking.
it's very thought-provoking. It's very action-packed. There's never a dull moment in a Purge movie.
I like
My personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're gonna go say, and I wouldn't even say dull is not the right word. The first one being, and I say weakest, but not
It's
as
the most low-key.
not as a negative thing to say. I mean, it's a low key movie. There we
But
go.
I don't think that's unintentional at all. I think when you
No.
have a small budget
Right.
and a big concept, I think they took a small chunk out of what they knew could be a big, like, full universe.
Oh yeah.
Showed you the potential, and then got a bigger budget to expand and really dive into the specifics.
Right. I think the first one, like I said, being the weakest, the most low key, whatever, it is definitely the right starting point for a franchise like this. Because the first one, like I said, you're trapped in a house the whole time. The lights are off. The kid is making dumb decisions, and I wanted to purge on him myself.
But you can't be mad at the kid for wanting to help that guy. I mean, that guy.
Oh, no, I was mad at
no,
him.
no.
Okay, hold on.
I completely will disagree with you, and the dad was just like, "Oh my God, why'd you let him in? Do you know him? What the hell?" I would have been like, I'm gonna put a bullet in either your hand or the leg or something because I am so mad right now. And your sister, boyfriend,
Yeah, both his kids were idiots.
tried to kill me, so I killed him, and now she's gonna get pissy at me, like I should shoot you too, like.
I'd say both of the kids are idiots, but I would say that the sister is definitely more at fault than the son. The son was trying to do something good. The sister was
Yeah.
being an idiot.
No, because the son, the dad got killed. Not because of the daughter. The daughter, if the stranger wasn't there, the boyfriend shows up, tries to kill the dad, fails, he gets shot. Boom, you're still inside a locked house. No strangers with you. You don't have guys after you.
Butterfly effect. With all the madness with the new guy coming in and the boyfriend coming down at the same time. New guy doesn't come in. Maybe dad doesn't see the boyfriend. Boyfriend's got a gun. Dad's dead anyway. You can't say for sure that the kid killed the dad. I mean, arguably,
Yeah. You can't say the
you
daughter
can kind
did.
of say it, but
You can't say the daughter did because the mom, either whether the guy was there or not, the mom was the one that's like, "Oh shit, boyfriend whose name I forgot has a gun," and then he's like, "Oh crap, bang bang, miss," because he shoots like a stormtrooper.
yeah, but adrenaline was flowing. Reaction times were faster.
I completely blame the kid, and the fact that the dad didn't tear him a new asshole just made me even more mad because he died. If the dad had lived, that's one thing, but the dad died. And Ethan Hawke is a really underrated actor. If I'm just gonna side note that.
I agree
Yes.
with you, but he sucked in this movie.
I think
I didn't
I think
he
that's
was
one
that
of the
bad.
weaknesses of the first.
Yeah,
Purge.
he was
You didn't like
totally
Ethan
just.
Hawke?
He was way too calm about things. Like, I
He
don't
was
know. I
almost
just
too accepted about like what was going on. People are dying everywhere, and he's like, "It's okay, it's the purge."
Well, yeah,
It's
because
gonna
he's
happen.
making tons of money off of it.
Yeah,
off his
but
product that
off his
he
shitty product.
he comes and basically tells you like,
Which you can
it's
hate
just
the-
made to look good. Like
You
Yeah.
can hate the character, but the motivation and the act, like his motivation is there.
I don't
Like
know.
it's a clear, like it's clear why he's not more distraught about it. It's a holiday that favors the rich. He's the rich.
he's in a gated community. He's just created the best selling home defense system to everyone in his neighborhood, who turns out is mad at him because the guy has sold this product that they all
that
bought.
was dumb too. That
And
lady
then
was
they're-
like, "You could say we paid for the expansion on your house." Yeah, I would say that because you all bought my product. There is no if about it.
I didn't put a gun up to your head
Yeah,
and
I
force
agree.
you to buy it.
Yeah,
You-
but you can't
like-
you can't sell like defective hardware. You can't just get.
Well-
here's a camouflage. They're not going to break
did
in, but if
they
they
buy
really
it without
want to,
seeing it?
they
Did-
really could.
Without diving,
That's like cheaping it, man. You can't
And
be
what
like,
does
this is going to
defective
protect
mean,
you,
though?
and then
Like,
some fucking truck comes in and rips the thing off.
They
Well,
were
without-
thick metal shutters. I mean, they're probably bulletproof. They're probably fireproof.
without diving too far into quote unquote security theater, we're looking at you, airport. How many terrorists have you caught? Oh, 0? Okay. It's really a question of, do people think they're safe? And like he even mentions, it looks good. What else does he say?
It looks good. It's iron. I mean, it's steel.
It's heavy.
So it looks good. It covers all your windows. You're already in a rich community where the chances of them coming anyways is slim. And to add these on every window and door makes it just even less. He's like, this is just made so
not-
they stay away.
It's not made for worst case scenario.
Yeah, it is. That's
It's
what he
more
says.
trouble than it's worth. You got 12 hours. You're not going to spend 4 hours trying to break into this house.
And you basically only use these things once a year.
Yeah.
Assumingly.
So
If
it's not
crime's that low.
necessarily a defective or bad product. Every security system has weak points.
Hold on. He talks about it like it's a product because it is a product. And without diving too much into business and stuff, there's a lot of companies that do this to their products, right?
Yeah,
It
correct.
looks good. It's expensive, so you think it's the best on the market. And is it going to do 100% of what it does? Maybe, maybe not, but you
Well,
take the chance of...
How do you make it better than? I mean, it's steel that covers your doors and windows. What can get
No,
better?
I
A
agree.
steel
Cover your
house.
house.
Like, you can just make the house steel. That's the only way to, like...
I think that puts like a
Yeah.
super ridiculous spin on something that's already ridiculous, like the Purge. I mean, a steel house.
No, that's what... I'm not saying that... I'm
Oh, okay,
saying that's
right.
the only way you could do it, and then your house is
yeah.
we're
So I don't
essentially a
get
giant
what everyone
lightning
is
rod.
so like. I
No.
don't think it's a defective system. I don't think it's a weak system.
No,
I think
no,
it's
no.
a just fine system. But he could have been like, it'll withstand cars hooking chains up to it and being pulled off. Nobody knows what they're gonna do. Nobody could have seen that coming.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I am on your side. I am not dissing him at all. I'm just saying he sold
Think
it
you're
like a
dissing his system.
businessman. You mask it like a business person does. You use it to sell your product, and that's what he did. No harm in
Well,
that.
he didn't. Yeah, he didn't put up an argument for like why you should buy my product. He was just like, yeah, no,
Well,
you're
he's
right.
a salesman. I'm
What's
sure
the
he
problem?
did. When people were coming in, you need this. You
well,
need me.
there, but at the end when he's getting
Yeah.
fried for it, and none of their houses got broke into, right?
Right.
So what are they fucking whining about?
Yeah.
We're upset your house got broke into.
Yeah.
We're so mad that we paid for your expansion and that this is happening to you, but we're still gonna try to get our own business.
I love how much like hate is in people. Like they come over, they're just like, "Well, they're not for you.
You're for us.
You're for us, and
We
we're
don't
gonna
want
fight
them killing you.
Yeah,
Because we're gonna kill you.
yeah, we hate you. We need to clean our souls. That business. It's just like, oh God, you're so fucking hateful. Like
They
you're
were like
fine, but-
double time shady.
Yeah.
Like the neighbors were. They
Cheeky,
were like,
cheeky.
we hate you, but we're gonna act nice to you when things are normal. But then we're gonna save you while we hate you, just so we can kill you. Like they're there capping all the people trying to kill them, when they could have just killed them too. But they had to like tie them up. Let's make a monologue out of it. We'll act out this whole scene in a,
We'll
in a
get a
prayer.
ritual going.
I thought it kind of makes sense. I mean, you've seen all the drama shows about, rich people.
But people are
and-
shady even when they want to kill you.
I just thought
could've
it was
just killed him.
I just thought it was a good twist
Yeah.
for the horror movie, but I wish it would have ended when the people who come to kill them, not the rich neighbors
When the
who
rich-
come to kill their
Yeah, they're
the main
asshole
char-
neighbors, I
Right.
get you.
They should have been ready to kill them, and then the sirens go off, the purge is over, and then it's one of those like, oh,
Yeah.
hey, see you tomorrow, neighbor, or see you
See
later.
you-
And it's one of those like
I'll
the
see you
main
next
characters
year.
would be like, oh my god, like, I guess I'm safe because now it's murder, right?
Yeah.
It's legal or illegal, sorry. But next year, what's going to happen? You know, that's where I wish it would have ended, and instead it got played out to they kill them. They let
they let
them
them
get away.
live.
That's right.
They just like
There'll be no more
Yeah.
killing this evening.
The Lena Headey's character and her dumb kids, stupid idiots.
they should have died.
They come out on top and they're like, "Get out of my house, purge is over, whatever." And I was like, "Oh no, it should have left it with the other guys on top in control." But that's just me.
But
That's just me.
I did love the part where is it the girl that says something and she slams her head into the table? I thought that was awesome.
Dude, yeah, and I know you don't watch Game of Thrones, but for those that do, Lena Headey, I was like, channel some of that Cersei Lannister badass and kill that bitch, man.
I was
Like,
waiting for her to call the Mountain just to come like fight or fights for her. Just like
It
just
is
watch him come in
weird.
and start going nuts on the purge.
It's weird rooting for her going back and watching this movie after hating her through 6 seasons of
Right.
Game of Thrones. So it's weird being on that side of things, but good for you, Lena.
I
Good
will
for you.
I will give her props because she's a typical, I don't know if she works, I want to say housewife, but I don't mean she's like a stay-at-home, does-nothing wife. She's typical wife figure, and when she's given the guns, I mean, she goes out to the side of the house, the other side of the house, alone, ready to shoot whatever. I got to give her props. I don't know many girls like that would be like, okay, yeah, no, you take one side of the house and I'll take the other and we're going to hold it down.
Girls, I don't
I
know
feel
how
like
well
most
I would
girls-
handle that situation.
No, I agree, which is
Yeah,
why I'm
that's
saying
true.
I don't know how. I feel like most girls would be like, no, I'm gonna stay with you. I'm scared, or I'm gonna go hide in my son's bedroom, or under the bed, or in the cellar. But for her to just like, pistol, you know, I'm gonna do this. I was like, I give you serious props, taking it like a man. You're a badass.
And back to the whole point where you said like they kill all the bad guys. They could have just killed them then too. Well, it's like it's in the first one. She has like 2 purgers on top of her, and one's getting ready to like gut her like a fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then those 2 just come out around the corner out of nowhere, out of the shadows, shoot those 2, and just kills them. Could have killed her. Then they just walk off. They don't say anything.
Right,
just walk
yeah, that
off.
was my
But
whole
it's just
point.
like
Like, there's plenty of opportunities. That
you could have
they
just
killed
dragged her, and then okay, now we know what you're doing. Instead of waiting until the last day, be like, no, we're not. We're here for you. It's like, don't beat around the bush about it. Just do it.
Overall, I liked number 1. I liked the suspense it put you in.
See, and that's how I am, because the first one, I mean, story wise and everything, the way it went, it's original. It was the first, so obviously there's going to be somewhat problems and everything else. But for the most part, dude, it was the creepiest. It was the most terrifying out of all of them.
It's intense.
I felt like the other ones, like since we already saw what happens, we knew what we were expecting, so our shock factor wasn't as high. But it was, the first one was just so terrifying.
There's
the sirens and everything.
There's this one shot in the third movie that really like got to me. I mean, it was a beautiful shot. So they're walking out in the street and they look down an alleyway, and just the lighting's really like intense on this guillotine, right? And you just look over and the guillotine drops and like chops this guy's head off, and it was just a really like creepy. I don't know. Did you feel
Like
the same
quick
way? Do
scene?
you know what shot I'm talking about?
Yeah, the dude gets guillotined. That was a good one.
I thought that was intense.
I don't know. I talked it through a little bit. The second one,
Second movie.
I think it's the Purge 2, where the horn goes off, and then that good old boy hick looking dude just like saddles up with the sniper rifle, and like he looks boozy already in like his pail of beer, and he just goes out there, and it's weird. It's like that's what this guy's gonna do. He's just like, no, for 12 hours I'm gonna just sit up here and snipe some people.
Well, he's a
I don't
hunter.
like.
It's hunting season.
Yeah, they lived in the city.
Yeah.
The same thing with what was it, like the intro to the first one, where like it was showing like all like the security footage. Like I know a lot of it was fake, but a lot of it was real. Like a lot of it looked real, like authentic.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh god, that fucking looks intense. Oh my god, he's beating him with a bat. Just that whole scenario, setting up for the film and everything. Just I don't know, just put a certain little stir inside my stomach. I was like, ooh,
I
don't
definitely,
know, man, that'd be unsettling.
I definitely think the first one is more natural horror suspense movie.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
as you move into 2 and 3, it really picks up that action aspect that I really like. It's a
Yeah.
lot of running and gunning, but it's still horrifying at the same time.
The creativity in these movies of how these American citizens react and what they plan to do on these purge nights is really, really interesting. You were talking about an awesome shot I guess what really drew me into the second one was right off the bat when the purge starts happening. The semi's driving down the lane, right, and they see a guy and a girl purge, or they're out ready to purge, a guy and a girl. I don't know.
They
If
had
it's couples,
guns and stuff.
They're on like a couple's date. I don't know. And then like semi drives by him, and you almost think it's one of those. You're purging. I'm purging. Maybe we'll kill each other later. And then semi stops, and immediately you're treated with the back flying open, and that guy on a turret just blowing him away. I was like, this is gonna be good. This is the shit.
It's a very, very concept-heavy franchise, and there's a group in the third one. You see a lot of them in the previews. The Statue of Liberty chick, and then there's a guy, Abe Lincoln, and they all have like really patriotic hats and masks and clothes on, very red, white, and blue, and those are actually foreigners from another country coming to purge. Yeah. Like, a big kick in the economy came from what they call them?
Murder tourism.
Murder tourism. So they I don't even want to like. I'm not even going to attempt an accent.
They were from Sweden, I think.
Sweden or something.
Like the ones in the shot.
And they're just like, oh, we love you, American pigs. We come over here and get to release the beast. Woo, America, freedom.
They come on vacation for this one specific night.
Yeah, like tourism surges
that is
during the
intense.
purge.
That's an awesome idea.
I think it was really well done, but I think they should have lived a little bit longer. I think because they weren't in the movie long enough.
The problem with I guess with anyone on Purge night, you could be 5 minutes into your Purge night and die. You might not even get the chance to kill anyone. You could walk out in your driveway, and if someone's
going to release the beast on you.
Yeah, someone driving down the road with like a motorcycle and an AK just lighting everything up, and you could be dead before you even get the chance to walk out of your house. Like,
yeah, see,
that to me is like, oh my god, no way. Like, I would not. If I'm gonna purge, I'm gonna be with that boy up there sniping, where I'm probably safe, and just pick dudes off, I guess. But that to me, that is such a cool concept.
I was going to say,
tourism.
Did they ever talk about more or less what the rest of the world fucking thinks about America doing this? Like,
no, but
all?
I think I'm assuming, and this is just an assumption, but this one is doing so well right now in theaters. At least it was last time I checked. I think we're definitely going to get a fourth one, and I think the farther this goes, they're just going to keep pushing it and pushing it. And I know there's a lot of people who don't like the Saw franchise. I love Saw. I heard they're actually getting an eighth one.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
I kind of like when a horror movie can just go and go and go. I mean, there's a little bit of an aspect of like beating a dead horse to it, but like I don't know, this one's so original. People complain about all the remakes and all the reimaginings and adaptations and everything. This is original. This is like a fresh idea, and it's really well executed. I think there are some dialogue problems I think in the first one, and then throughout, I mean, it gets a little bit. Like purgy, like, oh, I need to purge and I need to purge my soul to purge these purgers while I'm purging the purge, right? It's like, okay, we get it. The movie's called The Purge. You've said The Purge 100,000 times, but I really think that there's just so much in this world to explore.
What if what if the next one is the whole world?
That's a little far to go right off the bat, but I think it'll eventually come, in the series, maybe.
It'll probably go across Europe or some crazy shit.
What I didn't like about the second one was, now this was the first one you kind of get multi-perspective with it. You have the mom and the daughter who's got the dad who like sells his body to rich people to be killed.
Classic.
And the daughters,
I wouldn't have even thought about that.
Right, and the daughters get $100,000.
Correct.
They're paying this man $100,000 to kill him, and he's going to donate the money to his daughters. That's creative. You got the couple that just broke up. And they're they hit the car trouble, and then they're like trapped outside.
Well, they didn't have car trouble.
No, right. And this is what I'm saying. What I didn't like about it was they stopped somewhere for whatever grab a bite to eat or do something.
Gas station or something.
They were getting gas.
And you have these guys. It's like probably like 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes till purge time, and they're just like.
Well, it's clearly bright day when they stop for gas,
like
and then it's like
7.
It's dark when the sirens go off.
Well, yeah. I'm saying wherever they're stopped.
So they have some time to get home.
They see. I'm saying whenever they're stopped, they see.
The purgers.
Those dudes with the big van. They got the painted faces and the motorcycle things, and they're out there like pre-gaming before they go purge, and they're after these guys the whole night. They keep showing up, almost trying to kill them, and then it's like, oh no, wait, we just gather people to give to the rich people, and they have their little auction game hunt, whatever
What
they
an
do.
awesome twist.
I'm saying I didn't like that. I didn't like how they're not the killers. They chased them the whole night just to collect them and give them to someone else to kill.
Well,
how do you
I
know-
think that it was part of, like, they were looking like somebody wants them to go capture a white girl, somebody wants them to go capture a white dude.
They're
and-
hunters and they're setting traps.
Well, I was gonna say, and technically they are still purging. They're kidnapping. They're doing
See,
God knows
yeah,
whatever
See,
else.
we discussed at the beginning of this episode how, like, everybody's murder, and nobody's money. These guys are money.
Okay, yeah, I guess I see that. I guess they just play them off as like these big, intimidating, scary guys.
They are.
Because you see a guy with the machete, and you're just like, okay, clearly he's gonna hack one of these guys. And instead, it's like, oh, no, we're not purgers. We're just in it for money, man.
To me, the way
there
this
you go.
effect
Get out of my
works
bread van.
is like, these guys are super intimidating, they're scary, they catch you, and you're scared, but then it's like, oh, you're worried about us? No,
Yeah.
you're not worried about us. We're just the middlemen.
See, and I've always
Your
guess
horror
I see
hasn't
that.
even begun yet.
I just feel like they
You
built
know.
him up so much. I at least wanted one of them to do some killing.
No, I
And
think
the fact that none of them did, I was like, eh.
I think that was a great twist.
But what it led up to was good. The rich people, like I said, auctioning off live people to be hunted, and the person who wins the auction, right? Wins that person's with the highest bid. You get to suit up and go hunt their ass in their little homemade field maze. It's like going to Jager's paintball and just like live ammunition hunting down someone. You know, it's
yeah, it was so good.
such a good concept.
Like, and the lady running the auction, I thought she did a really good job. And like, you know, oh, will your sons be joining you this year? And he's like, say yes, guys. You know, like, it's like such like a family thing. Like, oh, you guys are gonna love it.
they're fist pumping and everything. It's
Yeah,
like, it's okay.
Oh,
it's
the
good.
fist bump between the brothers, that is awesome. And then they walk on, and you got like the silhouette of the
They
two
fist
brothers.
bump like 3 times.
And then they fist bump. But that's so cool because they're the douchey like rich guys, and they're like, you know, about to get their purge on, and then you know
They're like every rich
they
kid in
didn't
high
expect the
school that we
Punisher to
hated.
be.
Well, see,
You
that was
know.
the thing too. Like the kid from the first film, I'm assuming he was some kind of like private school from his uniform.
You talking about the dumbass kid with the long hair? That
Yeah,
got each
Well,
Smiley
both of
or
them,
whatever.
The girls running around a fucking mini skirt the whole movie.
Yeah, she's looking like some like little schoolgirl come do me, and then the
But
kid's
it is a
like,
horror movie. I mean, like these
Yeah,
are common horror movie.
Hey,
tropes.
but it was
But
just
she
so-
didn't have sex, so she didn't die, which is #1 horror movie law. You have sex in a horror movie and you're dead, but she didn't. That's
Well,
why
I
she
mean,
lived.
we've all
they didn't
seen,
really
we've
have
all
it,
seen
though.
Scream 4. I mean, rules have changed a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. No, that's just on remakes.
Ooh.
Dude,
Just
I
when they
hope
remake-
around Halloween we can get into Scream. I really love Scream.
See-
Purge and Scream, I think, are both.
But see, that was
really
one thing I liked.
game-changing
That was
horror
one thing I did like about the newer ones. How they started playing more of like the rich. You know, the rich is starting to get involved with the purging.
Uh-huh.
You start to see more of them, see what they're doing. I always thought that whole aspect was really cool. How like the rich, you know, they're rich, so they can do pretty much whatever they want. But on Purge night, they're essentially everybody else, but they're still doing it their own way. Like, you know, when they go to the the auction, more or less, so they get there and they're just like, okay, start bidding, and they're sitting there bidding the whole time, you know, and who's gonna do this, who's gonna do that. Like, it's a cool concept, but it's just also like terrifying. It's just like, wow, people really would. It's not just the poor that's being affected. Even the rich are like joining in and being like, yeah, let's do it. Like, it ain't no big deal. Let's do it. It's free. You know, we don't get in trouble. It's murder. So
murder.
it almost goes back to that, I guess, that whole general subtext they have going on, where it's like the population control, more or less.
It's population control, unemployment rates, crime.
Just like it's a way to fix things, but it's not a way you're gonna like. But it's you know, it's like the Hunger Games. Like, nobody wants to fucking do it, but they do it anyways, just to more or less be like, hey, this is what you guys have to do. Sorry, that's the rules.
I don't know. Okay, let me throw out a hypothetical. Okay, Purge is real, right? Let's say you have. Okay, let's use me for example. Purge night. Someone breaks into my house, kills my wife. It's legal. Okay. Now let's say they get away. 12 hours is up. Am I gonna be the guy that's like, oh no, I'm gonna cry about my wife because she died during this time when murder was legal, or am I gonna be like, I don't give a shit when she died. I'm gonna go out there and fucking murder that guy.
Or-
like, I just don't think.
Or you wait 365 days, and in that time you acquire some heavy artillery.
Yeah.
You find this guy.
I
you
know.
spend
But
your year
here's-
finding this guy.
Spend a year plotting
But here's-
to plotting my revenge, I'm going to be the guy that's like, nah, I'm going to kill him right now.
But then you're
Forget
going to
the
end up
murder
in
rage.
jail, and that's not good to anyone.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
why wait? The dude might get killed in a car accident. He might get robbed.
Now you have
some other.
When I
bullshit,
go purge
you know?
the next year, someone's going to come purge.
Yeah, he could be
And
dead.
stop
But
me.
now you have the unique perspective to like find that guy and be like, hey, buddy, remember me? I'll see you in a year. You know.
See you March
So then
21st.
he's got a full horrifying year of knowing you're coming for him.
Unless he's like, I up and moved, and I'm going to like,
Right.
oh shit, you son of a bitch.
Well,
like,
I'm moving with you. See you later.
Or
Yeah.
you buy some kind of tracking device and attach it to his car.
Hell, with that,
Yeah.
just follow him. What else? What can he do?
I just have trouble
Like
believing everyone just lets their all these friends and family die, and they're just like, well, it was legal. I mean,
See, and that was
you know.
and that was one thing that really pissed me off about the very end, first one. Like Lena Headey just like, yeah, my husband's dead, but I'm not gonna kill you. I'm like, fuck no, shoot that bitch in the face twice, just to be sure.
After the night she went through, I'd have been killing
Yeah,
everyone. That
I
came
would
in
have
the
killed
house.
everybody in a fucking 12-mile radius.
I'd have killed all those neighbors that broke in,
everybody in the
and then
neighborhood.
be
I don't
like, "Hey,
care.
rest of the neighborhood that thinks that you paid for my addition. Next year, y'all want to come back and try this, and I'll have their heads piked here on my front lawn for you and show you what it's like." Okay, so
Better yet, next year I'm going to show you the weak points in your security system.
yeah, like I'm
I'm going to build them in.
that truck is still out there, and I'm gonna use it to pull off your front door.
I like how in the third one they didn't
Shudder.
rely on the same stuff from the second one.
That's awesome. See, I like that even more. So
Are there any ways you think the fourth one could go? Like, are there any like cool concepts that haven't been explored yet that
Well,
you guys can think of?
you said earlier something about the guy in his shop, and there's a thing called Purge Insurance.
Yes.
Dude, that itself to me is like, okay, so you have expanded the mythology of this cinematic world you've created, and to me that is so cool. The fact that they're just that to me shows like they're trying to touch on like they're trying to think of everything.
They're very good at world building.
Yes, and that to me was awesome. But as I don't know, as far as the fourth one going, like Derek said, maybe world,
Maybe the world,
international,
maybe
yeah.
international. Yeah, that's.
I have a
something
good
I could think
idea,
of.
and I don't want to play it off like I've had this idea the whole time. I kind of just thought about it. GoPro, right? So you set up a website and you charge people to watch your feed all night, and then you wear a GoPro and you go around and purge, right? And you almost could put in an earpiece or like have like comments on your phone so that like, people could tell you, "Ooh, kill that guy over there," and then like, and then I don't know if any of you watch Twitch.
Yeah.
You know, be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, thanks, Purge Bunny 98 for the donation." You know, "Oh, thanks, Buddy Purger 16. Yeah, I'll kill that guy over there. Thanks,
Okay, so-
thanks for your support. Thanks for the donation, guys." You know,
I was gonna say, I guess I should ask this. So I'm assuming the purge is still going on by the end of the third one.
Ooh. Also leading to, does that set up for a fourth one?
Yeah, does it leave it open or vice versa?
I think they're gonna make a fourth one no matter how the third one ended.
So you're not going to tell us how it ended?
I have no problem telling you how. it ended.
I'm not even sure I remember. I mean, she survived.
She
That's-
survives.
I want to know, Derek.
I'm
We
down
said
for
spoilers.
knowing.
Bring them on.
She survives. The other guy survives. The other candidate.
Does Frank Rio survive?
Yes.
Well,
I
we're
believe
good.
so.
Okay,
I think
yeah,
so.
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
So they all survive, and she gets elected. Did she get elected?
To be honest, I do not.
I believe,
Remember.
Sinners, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe she got elected. But they didn't say that the purge was over. I mean, they're obviously going to take strides to end the purge, but I don't think one person can just end the purge. You know, even if you are the president doesn't have that much power to just
Right.
say,
Yeah,
hey,
I
this
get
thing we've been doing for 25 years, yeah, it's over now. I
What
mean, you can start lobbying and start putting in, you know,
What if she gets vetoed?
yeah,
Ah,
well, she
shit.
does the vetoing, but there are, you know, checks and
Yeah,
balances.
either way. I mean, like you got to deal with Congress before you can deal with anything
Exactly,
else,
correct.
and all those corrupt sons of bitches.
So,
I don't know. How could you be a president of the country and be like, yeah, guess what? I'm going to stop purging, but I got to watch out for all these other fuckers trying to kill me.
she essentially she could stop the purge, and then the country could riot and like do it anyway. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There could be the purist that like, oh, it's purge night. I don't care if it's illegal or not. This is my right as an American, given to me
Ooh.
by the new founding fathers.
There you go.
You know
There's
what I
the
mean?
next one. Civil War.
Oh,
Bam.
New Founding Fathers itself is like a kind of a cool retro idea. Like, oh, you want to play off what built this country?
well,
and
to
now
me,
you're gonna,
FFA.
yeah.
To me, what it shouts out is like there's people today still like, well, the founding fathers wouldn't like this and the founding fathers wouldn't like that. I don't know if you guys were around when the first founding fathers were founding, but the world's a lot different. So something that works all that long ago doesn't necessarily hold up now. And it's the same thing in the Purge. Like, people take the new founding fathers as like these saints who just like made the formula, and now it's like, oh, well, since these one guys one time said it was okay, it's okay forever, and I'm going to release the beast whether you like it or not. It's my 20th Amendment right to, purge. So
I feel like knowing a purge is one day every year. I feel like it's almost going to force you to be a little nicer throughout the rest of the year. I don't know, like, especially, okay, I run into someone, right, and I really piss someone off somehow. I don't know what I do. That day is like a month or two away, even like a week away, and you got to be like, man, I really hope that guy doesn't come and, like, hopefully someone does not want to come specifically hunting for me. Let me think back on my year and see if I pissed anyone off enough.
I would definitely be reflecting on, like, who might want me dead should, like, when this day comes. Like, who should I, like, man, like, my coworker was so upset with me, he'd probably kill me if he got the chance. I'd definitely be more leery, I guess.
Well, it definitely leads to a lot more of that false kindness. When someone's being nice to you, but you could tell.
In like the beginning of number 2.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So I would definitely just, if the purge happened, what would you guys do? Because I would definitely go into like the country where there's less people.
Yeah.
I think you just get away from people and you're a little safer.
Yeah, you see I think it's number 2. You see people in like a neighborhood, right? Just like a neighborhood, not even like inner city, but like just a regular average Joe neighborhood. And they're like just putting like big sheets of wood like over their door frames and stuff, and like just wooding up their windows. I'm like, hell no. I'm with you, man. I'm gonna get as far out of the city as possible to where my nearest neighbor is like a country mile away.
But maybe they did leave. Maybe they just put the wood up to like deter entry.
And that's true. Yeah, I mean, I can't rule that out. But I would not be the one that's like, I'm gonna stay in my house, protect it. I'm gonna be the guy that the whole week leading up to clear out what I need, any valuables, right? I don't want to take all my shit out, and get somewhere remote, secluded, far away, and just not chance it. But I'm gonna carry protection on me. There's gonna be some guns because in case that time comes.
Well, then think about this, though. You're in the country, right? So everyone in the country, I'm not saying like everyone in the country hunts, but there's a lot more hunters when you get, into the more rural areas of America. And think about all the people that live in the city that like to hunt. Maybe they migrate, and I could picture, like, this could even be the fourth one. They all get on their camo, and, they get all their guns out, and they clean their guns the night before, and they go and they set up like little like deer blinds, but like so they go in and hunt people in the country,
right? Like huge, like 15 cans of chew, like 25 packs of beer,
exactly. And they're all getting drunk with their hunting buddies, and they're all wearing orange so other hunters don't shoot each other.
Well, hopefully they don't go into the city looking like that because.
Well, yeah, they wouldn't go in the city.
Yeah. I just think the city would. If they like to hunt and you want to say hunting people is a sport, I think the city would fare better with that because...
More people.
Yeah, there's more people. So I'm just assuming the country would be safer, but you could be entirely right.
I was going to say, not to mention, I mean, like, the way I'd see it, it's like you see a bunch of fucking hunters out in the middle of the woods hunting. They're more liable to shoot each other than they are anything else.
Yeah, well, no, that's why you wear that fluorescent orange.
But even still, in the second one... They finally get to what's going to be the safe house, right? The mom of their little group, it has a work friend, and they go there because they're having like a little like safe purge party, whatever. And then even there, shit hits the fan, and the woman kills her sister, like the host of the house, over this boyfriend, and she's lighting up the place, and they got to get out of there. It's like, man, that is. I mean, you think about it, your relatives invite you over for a safe night, and all of us, you're the guy that everyone hates in the family, and so they're all just like, "Hey, Chris, glad you can make it." Flap, flap, flap. Take turns stabbing you, killing you, and then the rest of your
hold him
family's
down
like,
while we just gut him.
Yeah,
like it is scary.
Yeah,
it is. If I don't know that I could shack up with someone if I had even not a doubt in my mind that they might try and do something to me. I'd be like, nope, I'm gonna keep this one alone.
Well, I don't think she had a doubt in her mind.
No,
she was ready.
I agree. I'm just saying the overall idea of that it could happen even within your family, and you don't even know. Like I said, they could be planning this for a whole year. oh, I didn't get to kill him last year, but in a year, I'm going to get him.
Well, family
Yeah.
or not, I don't want anybody planning. Definitely taking a year to do it to kill me. I mean,
That's
come at
too
me.
much.
I don't
time.
want like a come at me, bro. But
You're like, come on, do it. Kill me. Come on.
Well, and then think about paintball. Like people who like are such adrenaline junkies that they form teams and then like agree to meet people in like the woods and like, okay, we'll start over here, you start over there. The last team with people alive wins. Yeah, good luck, guys. See you next year. Oh, I won't.
See, that was another thing I was going to say
know?
too. Like, what if they went along the lines of like a almost like a gladiator match? Like they would get a bunch of they'd pick up people off the street, and the rich would just be like, all right, fight to the death. Whoever wins gets to move on to the next round.
And instead of bidding against each other to kill,
yeah,
they all sit in like a stadium, like an arena of some sorts, like an indoor arena, and like set up like a bunch of obstacles and stuff, and give this team
American Gladiators, like Purge style.
yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
give everyone
Yeah.
equal guns and equal opportunity. And
Do it
it's
like melee weapons, and like the motivation be like, you win, right? You survive your Purge Gladiator round, whatever we're going to call it. You get $100,000, right?
Yeah.
Like cash or
Cash
money,
prize.
whatever it is.
cash monies.
Like, that'd be good to see in like a sequel, like something like, instead of just throwing them into a maze where they have no chance, like in the second one, it's like, oh, you get a machete and you get
An AR-15.
yeah, or something of equal whatever, and just fight, volunteer or don't volunteer. You throw them in the maze and give them a weapon and be like, you either use that weapon and kill that other guy, or he's gonna use that weapon and kill you.
Yeah.
But
Or just put
that
one
is-
weapon in the middle of the ring and watch them fight to the death, see who kills
That's
them.
like the Joker, like break a pool stick and be like, tryouts.
Dodgeball style. You line the middle of the room with weapons, and then like when it starts, everybody runs to the middle. So this guy's going for the machine gun. He doesn't see the guy next to him grab the machete and chop his head off and grab the machine gun from him and blast his
You
partners.
do like lay out a bunch of guns, but like some of the guns don't have ammo. So you run to the line,
Oh.
you get a gun, you're the first one there, you point it at someone, click, 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 oh shit. And then the second person there gets the
Sword.
other gun, and you're dead.
There's
you gotta
there's
put some stakes on it.
there's this movie that's called Mean Guns, and it's like real old. It's like from the 90s.
Mean Girls prequel.
God, I wish. No, it's weird. Like this gangster more or less takes over this prison, and then pretty much fills it with all his little lackeys that he doesn't think that he can trust anymore. And he gets them all in a room, and he dumps a bunch of guns on them, and pretty much tells them to kill each other. Well, they all start going for the guns. Of course, they're all pulling the slide back, starting to pull the trigger. Nothing's happening, so they're all clicking. And then he comes over with 2 more buckets. He drops 1 bucket's all full of ammo, another bucket full of bats, and then they all just start beating each other to death, and they have to like fight themselves. And it's just a big continuation throughout the whole prison.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if
Was
they
it
had
good?
something? It was very low
Yeah,
budget, so it was very iffy. But I mean, it wasn't bad. It was a cool concept, cool story. I just wish they would have done a little better with it. But yeah, just like something like that, just simple stuff like that you can do, and it's just like, oh god, that'd be so intense. That'd be so terrifying. Not knowing what's around the corner, not knowing how much ammo you got to use, trying to beat people to death with a bat. It's just
Well, I think that's where the Purge shines. It has a great concept, and then the execution is, in my opinion, pretty excellent.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
I think horror movies get a lot of criticism for certain things, and I think The Purge is one of the better newer horror movies.
I agree. This is really an interesting franchise.
I think most good horror movies now come out of Blumhouse. I mean, we've got Insidious, we've got, I think they did Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, the ones on Paranormal Activity, Insidious,
Sinister, I believe.
Another Ethan. Oh no, he was in
he's that's
Is he in
Ethan Hawke,
Sinister?
yeah.
He's in the
okay,
first
yeah.
Sinister.
Conjuring, which is the first Conjuring is definitely my favorite recent horror movie.
Did they do Annabelle as well? Blumhouse?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
So they are definitely
Conjuring, Annabelle, Conjuring 2, and I believe they're getting another sequel.
Oh,
What's the name of it?
It's another spin-off, and it has to do with...
did they do that Dead Silence? With Ryan Quanten.
James Wan did, but
Yeah, I
it
don't-
was.
Oh, it's not Blumhouse Productions or whatever.
No, I don't think so.
Man,
Well,
okay.
the guy it was the writer from Saw and James Wan who did it.
Okay.
As far as I know, I don't think
Did
it
Dead
was.
Silence? I've
Yes.
never seen that. I'm gonna have to
Universal
watch
was the one
That
that
is a creepy one.
pushed it.
It's dolls.
it. Yeah, dolls are creepy.
Dummies,
Yeah, if you're in it's like possession,
Mannequins.
dolls, like Chucky, but more supernatural.
So think like witch controlling.
See, I kind of hate possession movies, and that's one thing that like The Conjuring makes me like. I hate possession. I hate, we're going to exorcise these, whatever. And it's like The Conjuring, I think, does it so well that I'm really hooked.
Well, definitely the horror genre for today's audience has shifted towards possession movies. And so it's nice that something like The Purge comes out, and honestly, I think it does better than most of the possession type movies. Maybe the first Paranormal Activity, which made like $100 million plus on like several, just 20. I don't know. I don't even know what the
very
budget
low
is.
budget.
Very very
Very
low budget.
low
Right?
budget.
I don't want to try and say what it is because I don't know. But like I said, something non-trending is doing better than what is trending. So I like that a lot.
Have you seen the trailer for Don't Breathe?
Yeah, with the chick from Evil Dead.
And it's the creators of Evil Dead, which I
Right.
loved the Evil Dead remake. I don't know about you guys.
I loved it. I thought
I don't
it was
even
good.
remember it, to be honest with you. I'd have to watch it again.
It's similar.
It's the same chick, but I don't.
Well,
oh.
okay. Do you not know what it's about? Have you seen the
I
trailer?
have. I don't know. Dick
Okay.
about it.
Another interesting concept.
So
as
3
well.
people break into a house to rob this guy. This guy's blind. There's even a part in the beginning of the trailer where it's like...
real quick, the guy is Stephen Lang from Avatar.
Nice.
Okay, so that's
Whoa,
the
wow.
old blind guy.
He's blind.
So that's
so
where you're at.
So they're about to break in and, they're like, I don't know if we can rob this blind guy. Isn't that wrong? And they're like, just because he's blind doesn't mean he's a saint. So they break in. The blind guy catches one of them and he's like, how many are there? How many of you are in here? And he's like, just me. So the blind guy kills that guy. And he's starting to like drag him off, and he hears the floor creak from one of the other people, and it's hard to explain over audio.
He does like what Daredevil does, where he like he hears it, and then he just like you can tell he's like
His
he
focus
can't look, but
sharpens.
his focus is like right fucking there.
If his blind looks could kill you, they would.
oh yeah, like they both instantly like freeze, like no, I guess their
Yeah.
friend just died in front of him, and then I think he saunters off down the stairs or whatever, but it becomes like
He locks him in. If you've ever seen
Yeah.
The Collector.
so they have to like try to get out of the house,
Yeah.
but he can hear, he's got
Right.
his
And he's got
senses that are super acute.
he's
or
got
whatever.
some people that he's kept as prisoners, or he's like torturing them.
I
or
believe so. It
something.
kind of hints at it
Yeah,
in
the
the
trailer doesn't give you 100% of what it is, but it's one of those, they're trapped in the house, and like I said, Stephen Lang is still, I don't know, in pretty good shape, and you're just like, I don't want to fuck with that guy. And apparently, like, he's blind, but he knows his house better than anyone else does, because the lights are all off, and it looks good, man. It looks really, really interesting.
Really, I'm gonna have to give that.
There's another James Wan film coming out, Lights Out. It looks pretty cool as well.
I think I heard about that.
If you've ever seen Darkness Falls, it's kind of got a similar vibe to it. Like
Is that the one with the Tooth Fairy?
yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole point of Darkness Falls is like you gotta stay in the light.
Right.
So it's kind of like that. Like when the lights are out, this thing is there. I don't know too much about it. I don't want to get too far into it.
Right.
But I mean, it looks really interesting. I'm hoping we get a surge of like really good horror movies.
Right.
Because horror is a genre that I like a lot, and I feel like doesn't have enough coming out recently, at least.
See, and that's the bad thing about horror movies. Like they get to like what you said, like a trend, and then they just kind of keep.
They get
beating
locked on it. I mean,
Yeah.
if I see another zombie movie, I'm gonna like.
Same thing. I mean, granted, I know you love The Conjuring and everything else, and I enjoy the films too, and it goes for Paranormal Activity and all that jazz. But like everything's focusing on ghosts and possessions. Like, okay, I've seen enough of that. Can we deviate to
Can we
something
get
else?
Can we get some fucking werewolves?
Yeah,
Can we get
wolves, vampires, evil clowns. I don't
Oh
fucking
my.
care. Just
You know?
something.
I'll
Yeah.
take no vampires for a while, because Twilight and every other shitty vampire movie that came out around the same time as Twilight, like that Ethan Hawke one.
Oh God, Daybreakers.
Daybreakers.
I would welcome a good vampire movie over another freaking zombie movie.
Okay.
But I really want the Age of
unless-
Werewolves. Like
unless
I
we're
want
talking about World
werewolves
War
to get-
Z2.
Well, see, that's another thing
That's
too.
what I
Like,
want,
I feel
so.
Walking Dead has almost killed zombies. Like, I'm
Killed
to the
zombies?
point. I'm
They're
to the
already
point
dead.
now.
They literally kill zombies, Derek.
I know.
That was a
It's
good
ridiculous.
line. I like that. Rick Grimes.
Oh, Rick Grimes. He's
Coral.
like Rick Grimes. Coral.
Coral.
It's like you said. They've beaten it into the ground, and that's another reason why I don't watch it. Sorry, Senators, don't hate me, but I don't watch it
either.
anymore.
I don't watch it
After like the third season, I was like, all right, I'm done with this shit. I can't stand it anymore.
Well,
Like,
it's funny because George A. Romero actually came out and said basically something along the lines of, if it weren't for he said The Walking Dead was like a ripoff of his Night of the Living Dead stuff, and it's really like, okay, if you say that about this movie, so is every zombie movie after that.
Well,
is a ripoff of
hey,
your movie, bud. So
who'd you say, Romero?
Yeah.
Romero.
Why don't you go apologize to who did Cthulhu? It was
Edgar Allan Poe.
Lovecraft. Yeah.
H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh yeah, that was Lovecraft. Sorry, not Poe. My bad.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, man, whoa.
What about Herbert West, Reanimator? That's the I think that's the original zombie. You know, you can't just say someone stole your thing when you stole your thing that made you famous.
Well, they're using zombie in the wrong term, anyways. Ghoul is what they're supposed to use. The zombies we see in pop culture today is actually they're actually ghouls. You know, flesh eaters. True traditional zombies do not eat. They just they do whatever you want them to. They're like slaves.
Yeah, you're
Unlike,
talking like mindless.
Yeah, voodoo type shit. Yeah,
Right, not
that
like-
is traditional term of zombie. Basically, it's a mindless slave. Where zombies nowadays are more traditional ghouls. They just eat flesh.
The only with zombie movies, I feel like even if you get something that's been relatively reused over and over again, the only difference is they just call them something different. Like they're like, oh, walkers, screamers,
Shamblers.
undead fucks, and they just call them that the whole movie, as in like that's like the
And they don't
this
even-
is our separation. It's not a zombie movie. It's a fucking walker movie. It's a undead fuck movie.
And that's another thing they do too. They don't even, when it comes to origins of like what spreads the disease or what creates them, they don't even fucking focus on that anymore. They don't even tell you what it is. Like essentially, it's always it's radiation, it's a virus, it's this. But they don't even try to, like in The Walking Dead, they're like, yeah, everybody has it. If you die, you come back. It's just the way it is.
It's just
okay. How the
lazy.
fuck did everybody get it?
Yeah.
Was it just
Yeah.
dropped in overnight? Everybody
Well,
just got it? What? Like
Well, I think
no one
if you're
ever
gonna
really-
if you're gonna do something so overdone, at least do it in a creative way. Like I've seen zombie movies recently that I love. Life After Beth comes to mind. I think I've mentioned it on this podcast before. But dude's girlfriend dies and comes back as a zombie. Doesn't know she's a zombie. There's a comedy aspect to it. It's really really good. Warm Bodies. Even though I didn't like the love cures the zombies thing, at least it's original. At least it's something different.
Right.
Zombieland, I didn't like that movie, but I think it did something at least a little bit
What
different.
about, you ever see Maggie? I heard that was really good.
Oh, is that with Schwarzenegger?
Schwarzenegger, where
I
like
heard that was
his
good,
daughter's
too.
like slowly starting to turn.
Right. I heard it was good. I did not see it, but
I
I
heard it was good.
Yeah,
I think
so-
most people thought it was an alright movie. So,
So if you're gonna give me something that we've seen a million times, do it in a way that keeps me interested,
Very much so.
Or
plus Schwarzenegger and zombies. That's everything an '80s movie should have. Why didn't he do an '80s movie? A movie in the '80s about that. Like that's
Why
like
wasn't
that's
he
the old,
there?
like him being like, "Come with me if you want to not get eaten." Like that'd have been awesome. He totally should have done that.
Come with me if you want to stay alive.
Yeah. Romero should have been like, "I want you to be the star of my fill in the blank of the Dead movie." So
Schwarzenegger of the Dead.
I'd watch
Terminator
it.
of the Dead.
Oh
There
my
you go.
god, that's awesome. I like that a lot. We should do that. Hopefully, we don't get a lot of reusing of like the Purge type movies. I mean, I'm sure there's some straight to DVD shitty
Surge.
knockoff.
Well,
yeah.
I was gonna say they didn't do that much with Saw. Like Saw was pretty much its own deal. It never really got. I was gonna say it never really got. Nobody tried to copy it. Thank God.
I got you to get out. You need to hurt yourself, or what does it take to survive? Yeah, you're right. There hasn't really been any ripoffs of that.
Thank God.
I don't know. Eventually, this Saws movie just kind of fell into like the torture porn scene. Like
Yeah.
A little bit. Like around 4, it started to fizzle, and then it definitely picked up. Every time I talk about Saw, I pitch this to people that you really got to stick through 4, get to 5, and then 5 on is, in my opinion, really great.
Well, see, here's the deal though too. Like my whole deal was Jigsaw. He was the main bad guy. Yes, he had his little lackeys doing their old bit, but he, to me, was a central character. He was the one that started all this shit. After he died in the third one, I was like, okay, well, that sucks. I guess the series is done. And then they kept continuing it. And I was like, okay, it got to the point where he's not even in the films anymore.
Well, to me, that's the genius. Like he had such foresight. He knew he was dying,
Well,
and
yeah.
he planned out so far ahead to where he didn't need to be alive. And like, I mean, every good company has like structure. He had successors, and like it all ties back into the first one, and it's really great. This isn't a Saw episode. I don't want to dive too heavily into Saw. If they do make an 8th one, maybe we'll be able to do like a 2-parter and get all the Saws watched. But you know, it is what it is.
You guys only saw the first 2 Purge movies. Which one did you like better? The second one?
Yeah, I like the second one better. I mean, they're 2 totally different movies. But the first one, like I said, it just had a lot of stuff where I really wanted to purge on that kid. Like, I just cannot get past the 2 kids. Because, like, at one point, the daughter, like, runs off in, like, the dark house. And then the parents are like, oh, she ran off. So we got to find her, find the guy that's in our house, and hopefully our son doesn't do something else that's fucking stupid. And then at one point, the daughter, they ran into the daughter somehow. And then, like, she ran off again. And it's like, no, go get her. You're right there. You just let her, like, run away from you.
I'll agree the daughter's an idiot.
And Ethan Hawke was like, where'd she go? Where'd she go? And she's like, oh, she ran off again. And it's like, okay, here's a gun. Go get her. You're the mom.
They act like their house is the biggest thing on the planet. Like, gunshots can't be heard from across the house, apparently. Like, they're dead giveaways, but all right.
They didn't.
Well, there's a lot of... it's Purge night, so there's probably a lot of ambient gunshots.
I still feel like you'd be able to hear one in your
Surely you would hear
None
your
of them are
door,
running suppressors or anything.
your giant metal door getting
and then
ripped
the
off.
daughter runs off, and instead of being like, I think she headed towards, like, the kitchen, they were like, I don't know. She ran off on that side of the house, and nobody has any clue.
The house is so big, I don't know. She went down the hall and went right.
Like,
I don't know
they
where that
didn't
goes.
Did you check the basketball court and the corn maze?
Like, he literally says, he doesn't point or anything. He's just like, oh, I don't know where she went. He could have been like, let's see, well, I came from this way, so she went that way. He's like, gives her the most vague description,
Las Vegas.
yeah, of what could have possibly happened. And to me, that just made me mad. And yeah, you should have been able to heard gunshots across your house. Like, shots are being fired,
sure.
The neighbors are killing the purgers, and the people on the other side of the house are just, it's like it's a silent night over there.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess, like, you gotta think about it. If it's in an enclosed space, everything's closed off, you shoot a gun inside a house, it's gonna echo everywhere. It's gonna be kind of hard to pinpoint where it really came from. But, I mean, if you're out in the open, that's one thing. But if you're in an enclosed house, it could be difficult. But, I mean,
I do not believe that they could not navigate their own house to,
Eventually
one,
they
find their
probably
daughter,
could.
and 2, find the killer. I'm not buying it for a second. I don't care how big your house is, how many expansions you got on it, and who paid for it. I don't care. You should have been able to do better. You not just be like, I don't know.
My thing is, with a house that big, even though I guess you think you're in a safe neighborhood, wouldn't you have cameras maybe inside your house? And you're not saying you have to, but if it's so big that getting lost is, I don't know, like a real threat, like you're in the, like the middle of a Costco or a Walmart, like you can get lost.
It's big enough that
I
they
would
can't yell to
probably put
each
some
other.
cameras or something.
And where are the panic rooms?
yeah, see, that's my whole deal.
I mean, we've all seen Panic Room, right?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
if you're to have a purge night, even if you had the
None of those kids are
security system-
diabetic, you know?
Well, they were kind of controlling the outside cameras and stuff from like a panic type room.
It was just
Although
a
it's-
lounge.
Yeah,
It was
I
like a
guess it's
room.
set up more like a lounge. Like,
Panic
sit up here
lounge.
and watch
And-
people die.
and he opens like his safe. He pulls out like one pistol and puts it on the table. And he's like,
Just in case.
Just in case. It's like, oh, okay. So hold on, Chief. Unless that pistol has a pistol inside that pistol, like you think that's gonna keep you safe. As soon as I saw those guys coming down the street with like machete, and then they're like, our equipment's on the way, and we will get in the house. I'd have been like, well, guys, we should probably do something because
Grenades
this
or
one
something.
pistol.
Get up in
is-
the attic.
Well,
like,
I don't think they
open
can
up
use
the,
grenades.
you know.
They can't have grenades.
Well, I mean,
No explosives
people are
over
coming to
class
kill
4
me.
or whatever the fuck.
I'm getting some grenades.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe would have been like, well, he got the other guns from killing some people. Is that how they got the other?
Yeah, well, I think
'Cause-
when they eventually broke off the door,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
that's right.
those
He
guys came in,
He
that's
did,
how
I
he-
guess, kills them. Yeah, because Lena Headey is walking around with like dual wielding pistols like a badass.
and he's walking around with some weird chain pump action shotgun thing that he uses for 5 seconds just to get stabbed.
One
like a
part I really liked in the
cheeky
first
peek.
one where they're like looking through. Were they looking through a window or a peephole or whatever?
Like
But
a little
yeah,
little
yeah.
thing.
And the main bad guy is talking to Mr. Landon or whatever, and the other guy walks up and he's like, "Yeah, Purge, rock on, boo!" And like the dude like shoots him like point blank, and he's like, "I just want to be perfectly clear, Mr. Landon, that was my friend. You're not." And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
shit."
and then he's like, I don't condone that type of behavior. with what that was a good scene.
Hey,
with
the
what
dude's
you
a
said,
maniac. Like,
the guy, stupid kid. God, I can't get past that. That stupid kid
You're
lets the
letting him
guy
get
into
to you, man.
Yeah, it just ruined the whole movie. He got Ethan Hawke killed. You son of a bitch.
see, I think that kid was directed at me because I was like, yeah, way to help that guy.
Your parents give you a whole pep talk about this beforehand about what's going on, why you shouldn't do this and all that, and so the kid's answer is, I'm gonna let him in. But that's not what I was getting to. What I was getting to was he's talking to. They're at the door, right, talking behind the metal part, right, and he's like, "Why haven't you given us the homeless, filthy fuck you that we want to kill?" And he's like, "We lost him and we can't find him." I'd have been like, "Dude, don't think for a second I want him in my house. If I get him to you, you can kill him. How would you turn my power back on so I can find the guy and get him to you? I don't want to die."
My power, you dick.
Excuse me, Mr. Beast Releaser. Could you please reactivate my lights so I could find this homeless swine to deliver it to you?
No one thought of that at any point in the movie. That'd been my first sir, look, hey man,
I don't want to tell you how to do your job.
I'll give you that homeless guy and my son because I'm pissed at him right now. But could you turn my power back on so I can do this? Like, that's my... And he, I'm just assuming. The guy seemed like, yeah, you give us this homeless thing and we'll kill him and you guys are safe. I'm going to kill you guys. That was my friend. Just the lights being off was like, no one thought to ask him to turn it back on, plug in the cord, or even one light, or every other light. I don't care. Like,
excuse me, sir, do you have like a lantern I could borrow?
Can I borrow your flashlight?
My flashlight has shitty Energizer AA's. It's not going to last long. So, it's apparently because we're looking for this guy for like...
How does he...
9? At least 9 hours.
How does he also... Okay, two things. First thing is, how does he not have like an emergency backup? Like, if he's rich, he should be able to afford it. I mean, yes, he may not have...
Some kind of generator?
Yeah, some kind of generator or something. Even that still could probably get,
Well, not if you have not if you have it in the house.
Well, even still, I mean.
No, if it's gas powered, if it's a gas powered generator within the barricade, they can't shut it off.
Well, no,
because there's no plug to you know what I mean.
But there has to be an exhaust to lead outside. Otherwise, you're just putting fumes inside your house, and then they can clog that up, kill you, suffocate you.
Not like anyone's going to hear the generator because.
Yeah.
But that's not as fun. It's not as fun to suffocate someone as it is.
And the second thing is that homeless dude. Where the hell was he? Everybody's scouring this house looking for people to murder, and he was the one person that was still not found. He shows up at the very end, was just like, "Hey, by the way, hey, what's
up?" The kid put him in his secret hiding spot.
Well, even his little closet.
It was in his closet.
Clearly like a square door there. Like
it was dark.
I have a hard time not finding a big bleeding homeless guy. Sorry, I'm just like. He was pointless.
The only clue he had was that one time when there was like bloody handprints on the wall. After that, the guy must have just washed himself up because there was no more blood. Even when he's like lying all over their nice shaggy rug carpets and their white couches, like no blood. And it's like, oh, did you just find yourself a hose and just wash off in the house because no one's gonna hear anything? Like,
he's like, they got the power up and not the water.
Oh. Well, maybe he found some clothes laying around and wiped himself off.
Stole some of Ethan Hawke's clothes.
We already asked Chris, Derek, what was your favorite out of the first two?
Ooh, out of the first two, I don't know. I would have to say, oh man, it is kind of a toss up. I like them both. I like the intensity factor of the first one for sure, but the second one probably would be my better half. It was because I knew what I was expecting. There was a lot more characters involved. There's a lot more actiony, I guess. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think probably more than Ethan Hawke dying.
Well, if you think that, then I definitely think you will also think that the first is the worst.
Weakest link. First is the worst. Second is the best. Third is the one with the
treasure chest.
Treasure chest, yeah.
With the best box office.
So what did you? Oh yeah, there you go. Box office best. Third is the box office best. Nick? What was your favorite out of the three?
Out of the three, definitely the second one.
Second one.
Second one, third one, and then the first one. And they're both.
I'll agree. 2 and 3 are very close.
Yeah, I agree on that.
You what are you giving them out of 10? Let's round table, I guess.
Let's start with 1. What does everybody think about 1?
1 minus a lot of the stuff I guess we pointed out. Overall, a pretty solid movie. Like I said, it is pretty suspenseful. When they're they talk about the Purge for so long, and then 20, 25 minutes in or whatever, it happens. And when those sirens go off, especially in the first one, when the sirens go off, you're like, oh shit, this is legit. This just got real. And the second one, because it showed the characters, they're just like nonchalantly like getting prepped for this thing. It didn't have that effect on me. But the first one, I think, solid 7.5, probably 7.5.
Derek,
I'm probably gonna go with probably 6 or 6.5. Like I enjoyed it. I really did. It was terrifying. But I mean, I think there's more than just a house. Like, there's more to it than just a house.
I think that was a budget constraint.
Oh, I'm sure. But I mean, most part, yeah, like definitely a 6.
Good way to
6
launch
and
a
half.
series. Nick,
I will probably on the first one. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 6.
6. Okay.
I liked it, didn't love it, but just could not. Yeah, I had a hard time with the kids, man. They really. I don't even have kids, and that like secured my philosophy of I'm not having them.
Well, Chris, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to say solid 7.5.
Yeah, I'm willing to.
I really, really enjoy this franchise.
Yeah.
Let's go number 2. Who's
Number 2 round table, Derrick.
I would say 7.5.
I think I'm a step 2 up to about probably like an 8. Like I said, I still had a few of the problems. I didn't really care for any of the people with Frank Grillo, except for the girlfriend of the guy who died.
I didn't like the daughter. The daughter was like,
Yeah, see, I didn't care
"Hey,
for the
mister, I know what you're about to do. You're
the
going to
daughter
purge."
was too
It's
much.
like-
The daughter was too much like that, and the mom was just like,
It's like, hey, listen,
Naive.
bitch. Listen, bitch.
Yeah.
I saved your life.
Yeah.
First of all, you're welcome. Second of
then-
all, you're welcome. Just shut up and stand behind me.
the boyfriend was. I didn't really care for him. I cared a little bit more for him when he was like, "We're not gonna make it. Fuck it," and he just starts like laying to waste that go-kart chainsaw flame throwing thing in the subway, and then his girlfriend jumps in there and they both take this thing out, and I was like, power couple, that's badass. I liked her and I liked him a little bit more after that, but when he died I was like, okay, that's fine.
and I liked the mom. The mom was cool, I thought.
The mom was, I thought she was so opposite the daughter. The mom was just almost just like,
Calm and collected.
yeah, all this stuff's happening and it really sucks, but I don't really know how to react, and then this guy's coming at me, so I tripped and fell, and I'm just gonna lay there and look back at him and just, I don't know, gonna get run over. Oh wait, here
scared.
comes Frank.
She's scared.
I
Hey,
get,
man.
that
It's a
only
scary
goes
situation.
so far to me.
That's like think of the scariest thing you've ever been through. This is worse.
Pregnancy with my wife.
Yeah, this is way worse than that.
I don't until you experience pregnancy. Sinners? Just kidding. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Her mom.
I just didn't care for her. That was just
The
me.
mom to me was almost too unbearably naive. Like there was a part where they get inside, I think Big Daddy's truck, and she's like, "Oh my God, look at all these places that are all, they're built into the cameras. How do they do that?" And the daughter was right off the bat was like, "Well, I think you just answer your own question." And then the mom's like, "I think you're right," and I'm like, "She's been fucking saying that the whole time, you dumb bitch."
I just
Nick, what was your rating for number 2?
Number 2, I'll give it 7.5.
Did I already say mine? 8.5.
you have now.
I have, yeah, 8.5. It's one of my favorite horror movies. Definitely not my favorite, but it's definitely up.
It is a step above the first one. Like I said, Frank Grillo himself is a treat to this franchise. He is so Punisher-like. I was like, oh my God.
Perfect
Immediately who I
anti-hero.
thought of when
Oh.
he was doing that. I was like, he would have been a good Punisher.
He was awesome.
Good
You know you will.
crossbones, but he would have been a good Punisher.
For what do you give the third one?
Third one, I give it 7 flat.
I'll do 8.
Backtrack
solid
a little
8.
bit from the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. But it definitely expands the mythos and stuff, like you said.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, wrapping this up, Sinners, we have our review of The Purge. They're in. Nick and Tyler have spoken. Apparently, it is worth seeing. It's doing pretty good right now. Get out there, support the
Purge.
Support The Purge.
It's your right as an American given to you by the founding fathers, the new founding fathers. Not the
Release-
old ones. Forget the
release-
old ones.
yeah.
These new guys, they're what's hip,
Release the beast. Pay the $10 to go see this movie. It is worth it. Okay.
Yeah.
Founding fathers said so. All right. So get out there. If you like what we're doing, make sure you share it, like, rate,
Subscribe.
if you're on
iTunes. We need subscriptions, ratings, reviews.
Make sure to share this thing with all movie lovers or non-movie lovers. Either way, they'll like it. So get out there and release the beast by supporting this podcast. And just be sure to not be a dick.
Support the podcast.